Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. The 2000 subs giveaway. Let's quickly go over that, because I do say quickly because I actually have done a live stream at 6 PM on Sunday as sort of scheduled. The only problem is YouTube being YouTube. I don't know what happened with that live stream. We did it and we have winners and all that kind of stuff, but normally afterwards you get a video of that you can post of that live stream. That video seemed to be disappeared, as I said, YouTube being YouTube. Also that at the end of the video we will talk about that a little bit more as well. So we have reached 2000 subs. That means, first of all, a big thank you to all of you who have, over the weeks and months and years that went by, clicked on that subscribe button and clicked on the like buttons and all that kind of stuff. Asking for it is something you will not hear me do in any of my videos, because personally I find that a bit of begging. So I know for a fact that there are 2000 people out there who voluntarily clicked that subscribe button. A big thank you for that. We didn't do anything specific or special at 1000 subs, because we were there before we knew it. At that moment also you can apply for the YouTube program partnership and all that kind of stuff. I was busy with that, and before we knew it we had 1100 subs, so I did not do anything special about it. So I thought I will do it this time. We'll give away some gold editions of The Crew 2. According to some people out there, this is a dead game. I can assure you it is not. This is a title which will be just like the first game, 4 or 5 years lifetime. That also means things are spread out a little bit. Also updates and upgrades and patches and all that. Over time they come into the game. Of course we are 2019 and the gamers out there are used to those 1 and 2 year titles, and they want everything today and preferably yesterday. That's not how gaming works, my friends. But then doing videos because you don't immediately see something happening, then doing videos that the game is dead, that is also a bit of a joke, isn't it? What is also a bit strange is that even after the contest is over and all that kind of stuff, I'm still getting mails coming in. The contest is over. We did a little quiz, did a video on Monday. I immediately saw some of the questions were not that easy or clear to some people, going by the first mails that came in. So I did an update video with a little more hints and tips on Tuesday. During the week, about 10, 15 something mails came in. So we will go over that first. Gold editions, 6 keys we have available, and meanwhile we have winners, but this is sort of a summary of that live stream, because I want to make sure that it's out there, and I don't know if YouTube's going to give me a video of that live stream. By the looks of it, they don't. So I decided to do a sort of backup video. That is what this is. We did a little quiz with 5 questions. Question number 1 on the left here, Ahmed Boudekafi. On the right, Stefan Bille. The creators of Ivory Tower, and that therefore also the creators of The Crew 1 and The Crew 2. These faces might look familiar to you, the names might sound familiar to you, or they totally do not mean anything to you. That is very possible, but if you're involved in The Crew and The Crew 2, you should at least know the guy on the right. The guy on the left is, let's say, less in the picture than the guy on the right. But the guy on the right, Stefan Bille, might not ring a bell, but if we fast forward to the answer, Fergus probably will ring a bell. Stefan Bille, aka Fergus, and that is how you know him. He's very active on Twitter and so on. Creative manager of Ivory Tower. Fergus was the answer to the first question. In general, the majority of the mails that came in have that correct. Maybe 1 or 2 that didn't, but... Question number 2. The Ford GT 2005 in circuit spec. More specifically in the Crew 1 on the Little Eagle track. Very decent handling, decent acceleration. Top speed wise, nah. I think it limited out at 416, 417 kilometers an hour, something in that order. not that fastest thing around. There were other cars which were faster. Also there, I already saw a few problems coming in with the first mails. People saying the Koenigsegg Agera, because of course in stock that was a very fast car. Although I doubt it was the fastest, but with a stock car you can't do anything. But that was just the way the game worked. In the Crew 1 you bought a stock car and then you went to a tuner. You bought a street spec in the street tuner, a dirt spec in the dirt tuner, and so on. And then with those specs you actually participated on the game, doing story missions, faction missions, PvP, summit, all those kind of stuff. You needed a spec, because with the specs you could upgrade, and that was it. With the stock car you couldn't do anything. You could do a skill test and you didn't even get anything from that, because those stock cars were just to drive around on the map basically. Taking in consideration the 5 original specs, being street, dirt, performance, raid and circuit, we were more or less looking for the car with the highest top speed. That was the question. Of course, I drew that in there for a little bit of confusion, those 5 different specs. Because if you talk about top speed, you're only going to end up with one spec, being circuit. All the rest will not be fast enough compared to the circuit specs. The answer to question number 2 was the Lamborghini Huracan LP620-2 Super Trofeo. Or, in other words, the Lamborghini Huracan circuit spec. That thing can go, and that's why I showed the picture of Little Eagle. If you go to PvP, Little Eagle, some people use it there. If you have 2-3 people there, sort of goat slipstreaming in each other, they can do 466 kilometers an hour, which is about 290 miles an hour. Fastest thing, you will not find anything faster, except for, of course, the drag cars, but those were not in the picture. We were looking for the highest top speed within the 5 original specs. Drag, drift and monster truck were things that only came with the Wild Run. I always explained all that very clearly in the videos when I asked the questions. So the only answer correct was the Lamborghini Huracan. 620 horsepower, 2-wheel drive. The performance spec has 610 horsepower and 4-wheel drive. Question number 3, that was a bit one for the diehards. A bit, yeah. Also, even if you Googled for it, you needed to know what you were typing there, because otherwise you would not find the answer. A track, more specifically a Summit PvP track, and only available in Summit PvP. That was what we were looking for. I showed a picture of the Grand Canyon. That was not just for the sake of it. That was because that track that we were looking for was taking place in the Grand Canyon. I had some people sending in answers like First to the Beach. First to the Beach is the first part of a triple mission in the story. You could find that. It's called Fearful Symmetry. That is First to the Beach, and then it goes over to a takedown mission and so on. That's a triple story mission, so you can find it on the map. These things that we were looking for, you could not find on the map. And the answer to that, with the referral to an animal, was Snakebite. Snakebite is a track which you could only find in Summit PvP and nowhere else. It's not available in normal PvP, it's not part of any story mission or faction mission. A very twisty track in the Grand Canyon, and every couple of weeks within the Summit PvP that thing showed up, and you could play it there with the car that you were given or with the bike that you were giving. As you can see in this picture, it was with a bike that week. And everybody drove the same vehicle at $12.99. That sort of was what specific on Summit PvP. Everybody drove the same vehicle. So Snakebite was the answer to question number 3. Yeah, as I said, that was a bit one for the diehards. I think about half of you guys have answered me the right correct answer. Question number 4, compared to number 3, this one is very easy. We wanted to know the release date of The Crew 2, the official release date, not taking in consideration people with early access and all that. Just the official release date. Don't need to make too much fuss about it. It is June 29, 2018. Why not make too much fuss about it? Because everybody that sent in the mail has this answer correct. So that was not that hard to find out, even if you couldn't remember it. Pretty easy. I think even if you Google the Crew 2, it's one of the first things that show up, the official release date. Which brings us to question number 5. Also there we had a few surprising answers. Somebody called Tournament Performance Club or something like that. TPC, what does it stand for? That was the question. TPC is a bunch of players selected by Ivory Towers. The players representing the community from different aspects of the community. We have people from Discord, we have people from the Crew Social, the Facebook group, we have people from Reddit, from the forums, from the Steam community, from a couple of YouTubers, and so on. All these people, somehow or another, throughout the years, either they were invited to a workshop or they were invited to E3 or Gamescom. They are covering the game on their channels. They are helping out within the community, some sort of. That is more or less the base. That is why people were selected. Next to that, we have community managers. Those are the people connected to Ubisoft, whether it's from Newcastle, UK, or from the States. UB Rich, UB Moshi Moshi, UB Mr. Dr. Pink, all those people. Community devs, those are in a way also related to Ubisoft, but they do work at Ivory Tower in Lyon in France. UB Nox, UB Gethill. And then of course a couple of devs itself. If you throw all that bunch together, that more or less is the Pit Crew. That was the answer. What does TPC stand for? The Pit Crew. If we go over those 5 things, then we have some mails coming in, and some of you guys have made some mistakes here and there. That is unfortunate. But yeah, that is good news for others, because there were people who had the 5 answers correct. And therefore, they are also the first 4 winners of a gold edition. Congratulations, Jesse Blessen, Linda Conley, Syrian Madhuis, and SOS Espoir, because you guys had all the 5 answers correct. Therefore, you are also given a gold edition. That meant that we had a couple of other people who made 1 or 2 mistakes over here or that. Mistake is a mistake. Can happen. Nevertheless, you still have a chance, because we had 6 gold keys. That means that there are 2 gold keys in the running. During the live stream, I saw what you see here is a number of 8 people that I gave a number from 1 to 8. And then the result of that went to a website, they did some random draw, and as you can see here, number 2 came out as first and number 1 came out as second. And that means that the 2 remaining gold keys go to Koger Shalan, Claudio Zoldi. So Koger Shalan, Claudio Zoldi, Jesse Blessen, Linda Conley, Syrian Madhuis, and SOS Espoir. Congratulations, you guys are the 6 winners of the gold edition of the Crew 2. How is this going to work, guys? Don't panic if you don't immediately see the key show up in your mail or whatever. I need to check your information. I need to check which platform you play on. I need to check which region you live in. I need to fast forward that to Ivory Tower so that they can give me the correct keys. If you're in the States and you play on PlayStation 4, it's not the idea that you get a European key for PC, because that will not work. So that is something, of course, office hours, ladies and gentlemen. From Monday to Friday, they work at Ivory Tower. So I need to contact them tomorrow. And as soon as I have the keys, I will send them to you. That's why we had to do this with mail. I have your mail addresses, guys. And I will, as soon as I have the keys, respond to your mail with the correct key. From what I make of it, if I'm not mistaken, all of these winners were PC players, so I only need PC keys. It's just a matter of finding out if they belong to the NCSA or EMEA region. That is something we will fast forward, and then we have the keys. I will send them to you guys. That more or less was it for this video. Quick summary of the live stream. We have 6 winners, these 4, and then a coming out of the draw, number 1 and number 2 of this list, those are the 6 winners. Now, as I said, YouTube being YouTube is a bit of a mess. I also ordered a no PC. I am waiting on that thing. Once that thing is arrived, I more than likely are gonna move a little bit to live streaming, and more specifically on Twitch. YouTube is doing all kind of stuff with this new YouTube studio. Like for instance, in this case, we do a live stream, and instead of making a video with it, it plans the live stream. Although we were live, there were some people there who saw the draw and everything live, but it does all kind of stuff, and then later on, afterwards, I cannot even find my video anymore. So it is like YouTube being YouTube. I sort of had it with it, and that means that I'm gonna do some more streams, shorter streams, longer streams. We will see once the new PC is there, and once I have everything installed, of course, because that always takes time to install everything back on the new PC, including all the games. And so we will do some more live streaming on Twitch. I will put a link in the description of this video to my Twitch channel for those who are not familiar with it. I will come up with some sort of schedule after the live stream is over. It immediately gives me a video available. That video will be exported to my YouTube channel, but that also means that those short 5, 10, 15 minute videos, you will see a bit less of those things coming by, because we're going to focus a little bit more on the streaming. And then I will make sure that I put in some time stamps in the future videos that you guys can find. If you're only looking for a certain event of a summit or so, that you can find it within that 2 or 3 hour stream, that you can find where you want it. Put some timestamps in it, not a problem. It sort of more or less works similar than doing separate videos for those things. Also, videos of course takes more time. You need to record them. You need to upload them, they need to process. If you do a live stream, the video is immediately ready. I can export it, and 15 minutes later it is in 1080p 60 fps on my YouTube channel. It can't go any faster, and it is also works better, and it's less complicated, because YouTube Studio and their beta studio or whatever it is, yeah, it's one big mess, and also not that interesting to work with. Then you need to do things 2 times, like I have to do now, make a summary of a live stream that I already did about 2 hours ago. But I wanted to make sure that the winners were known by all of you guys, for those who were not there in the live stream. Congratulations to the 6 of you. Thank you for subscribing and following me over all the years. And of course, we keep on going. For those who think that the Crew 2 is dead, I have some bad news for those idiots, because the Crew 2 is far from that. A lot of stuff is happening with the summit. You know, next week is the last summit of batch number 2. Then they will do a repeat of the 3 first summits, Rising Sun, Untamed Italians, and Flying Germans, to give people who missed those premium cars in the beginning, due to the fact that they did not have yellow parts and so on, to give them a second chance. They will repeat those 3 summits. Then we are somewhere mid-November. Then a new 3rd batch of summits will arrive. The first batch of summits sort of concentrated on bringing one new event every week, or one new track into the game. That also found its way to PvP later on, and so on. The second batch of summits, for instance, like this week, we have the Mini Countryman in Rally Raid. That was the focus for the second batch of summits, bringing back some certain specs of cars that we were not having compared to the Crew 1. That's why we had the Hummer monster truck and so coming into the game. We were familiar with those from the Crew 1, if you played the Crew 1, but they were not in this game yet. So that was where the focus was. The focus for batch number 3 will probably be on something else again. Rumors are that there are some new stuff coming. That can be like new events or whatever, we will see. Are they going to do a live stream or on that about it? I have no idea. It's either going to be a live stream or an article where they explain everything on the website. One way or another, approaching mid-November, I am pretty sure you will get all the information needed. Not only for the 3rd batch of summits, but also what is happening next to that. I am pretty sure they will give you some more information and maybe even reveal a little hint or there for what is coming. If we fast forward, let's say to around this time, October next year, then I'm pretty sure we will be talking about all kind of other stuff. What I make of it, they spread it out a little bit, so you're gonna get like a little bit here, a little bit there, and then working their way up to whatever it is that they're working on, the more bigger thing, let's call it that. And we will see how it all comes, but far from that, I can assure you that, and a lot of stuff coming, which some of you are waiting on. I am also pretty sure of that. That was it for this one for me. A little summary of the live stream that I did. We have 6 winners. Congratulations to those. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.